Just bear with me. I'ma get it out.
I was the smartest in my class and still beat a nigga ass. Hood baby, I came up and I ain't never had a dad. These wars I went through, he don't even know the half. He ain't teach me how to fight, couldn't even throw a jab. And I'm still fighting all my demons living in the past. So excuse me, my emotions start ripping through the bag. Trying to eat right, all he ever gave was trash. He showed me how to live and be a bitch, not a man. I wanna play my cards with niggas peeking in my hand. Niggas back door try and sabotage my plans. I got bitches making sure that I don't ever see my kids. I got family so fake, we'll never speak again. All I ever wanted was to love my next of kin. Maybe work together and build like a Mexican. In a perfect world, my nigga, we next to win. To be killed by a nigga that's standing right next to him.
What's going on with you? This is your boy ISO the God One. Hey, look. First off, go ahead, check out all my music that's streaming on all your major streaming platforms, wherever you go listen to music, whether it be YouTube, wherever. Type in ISO the God. Got some songs out, got a project coming out. But let's get to this story. Story time of how I joined the Navy and how my brother tricked me into joining the Navy. I got tricked, bamboozled. So boom, my senior year in high school, I had signed a basketball scholarship to go play basketball at a small school in Central Florida, Kissimmee to be exact. It's called Florida Christian College, FCC. I went there for one semester. It was a Christian college. I went there for one semester and I left after the first semester because they didn't have a meal plan at the school. It was the first time I had a kitchen, stove, refrigerator, but I didn't have a meal plan. And it was like I couldn't have my mom send me food for a whole semester. I wasn't going to, and I couldn't work while I was playing basketball because my time, and then we had a curfew on getting into the dorm. So it was all these different variables. In my first semester, I realized, and then they was trying to get me to take out a student loan. And I'm like, listen, I did too good in high school to have to pay money to go to school. These are all my thought processes into making the decision that I made. Paying for school. I don't want to have to pay to get a degree. And this school arrangement wasn't going to work for me. Boom. So I left after the first semester. I ended up going to Tallahassee with my brother because my brother was going to FAMU at the time. And I'm thinking like, all right, my brother here in FAMU in Tallahassee, boom, I could go ahead, start going to school at TCC, and boom, whatever. Go ahead, get ready to go to TCC, boom. I get denied going to TCC. And I'm like, how? They said there was something wrong with my financial aid from what happened at the Christian college. So that's like, now it's like my heart is crushed because I can't do the thing that I was so good at in high school. I scored, I was in AP classes, honors classes. I did like good in school. Like, it was no reason to why I can't be in college. So I ended up like just kind of just free floating for a little minute. Like, damn, like what can I do? I knew everything was eventually gonna go. I was like, maybe it's just this time. Maybe I just need to keep trying, keep pushing at it. Bet, because I know I want to go to college. I know getting a degree is the thing that's best for me. Like I know that that's a part of what I want to do with my life. And so, boom. But all these obstacles keep coming up. My brother, because he's struggling in college at this time. He's struggling. And he's like, bro, man, shit, I think I'm about to get ready to join the Navy. You know, I got a partner who went in. He talked about how, you know, the benefits and everything like that. But I'm thinking about joining. He was like, you ought to come up here with me as I talk to the people, you know. And I was like, bro, you know, anybody know me, know government, military, all that, not really my thing. You know me, you know that's not my thing at all. But my brother is more of a person that's kind of set up for that type of structure. Me, I was never set up for that. But he was like, boom, you ought to come up here with me. And I was like, nah, you know what? All right, bumping. What else I got to do? I'm not joining nothing, though. So we get up there, boom, they start talking to us, start going over the whole spiel, boom, you could go to college for free. Matter of fact, they'll pay you to go to college. Boom, you can see the world, you could boom, you know, they all the good stuff they tell you, you know, boom, like you ain't gotta worry, you can have a steady paycheck coming in, your money's gonna be, you know, consistent every 2 weeks, like you already know what it's like. First, like you the whole spiel that they give somebody who's struggling with stability as an adult, all of the things that you struggle with, they're going to provide for you and to you. And it's just one of them things to where at the time I'm still saying, my ball lad, I hear what you saying, I'm going to college, this is what I've been prepared for. But the more and more I hear them talk about the school aspect, like if that's really what you want to do, this is the best way. I said, okay. I still don't want to go. My brother decides to do the practice as VAB. He does horribly on it. Asked to convince me to take the test. Let's see. Just see if you do better. I blow the shit out the water. Blow the shit out the water. Tell me, hey, look, you can pick any job you want. You know, you can do anything you want to in this motherfucker. Like, your test score is good enough. You can pick any job you want to in this. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to do this. He was like, bro, listen, I just need to I'm going to practice mine. We going to come together. You know, I'm going to practice my scores, and I want us to go together because they also talked to us about this buddy system. Talked to us about being on a buddy system where me and my brother, we could actually go to boot camp together. And like, we could kind of stay together because I would rather be around my brother, you know, because I don't even want to do this shit. I don't even want to do this shit. Like, this ain't even my thing. Like, so, it was one of them situations to where I was more incentivized to go with the process because I knew that me and my brother was going to go through this together. And this is my brother who I love and I care about, who me and him always had this connection growing up. Like, I look at him as like my protector, like he was the stability in my life that, you know, the stable one in my life that I always could look at and be like, damn, like that's the type of person that I want to be. I want to have that type of work ethic, that type of grind, that type of, like, I always looked at my brother and admired my brother. And so even him presenting this to me, the only reason why I'll even consider this situation is because him. And so, but boom, buddy system. We get ready to go to something that's called MEPS. Is where you take the big ass VAB. This is where you get sworn in. This is where you get your date to go on to boot camp and all of that. This is the big one. Me and him was supposed to go together. He was supposed to be practicing, taking the practice ass VAB, because we were supposed to go do this together. Ended up going to MEPS. Day of MEPS. And he was like, bro, I think you should go, bro. I ain't gonna be able to make it. I couldn't score the score I wanted to score. I think it's best for me to finish school up, but I think you should go. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to do this shit, bro. This ain't me. This isn't my thing. I ended up going to MEPS. They ended up talking to me and saying, hey, look, your brother still has time. You still have MEPS. All he has to do is pass the ASVAB, do what he need to do on the ASVAB, and boom. If long as there's time between y'all dates, we can figure out some type of way to assure that both of y'all are on the same date. That's what they told me. That's what they told me to get me to keep going on with the process. Cool. So I went, did the whole swearing in process, like did that whole spiel, took the ASVAB, all that. Ended up getting a date for like February of 2011. Still some time. This happened in like June of 2010. Yeah, June of 2010, around that time. My brother was like, all right, bro, I just can't, can't doing it. I ended up signing a contract. So now I'm telling them, hey, look, I don't want to do this no more. They tell me, hey, now later I found out what I found out, that they was lying. But, whatever. But they tell me, hey, listen, you already signed for this job. You can't do it. You might get in trouble. Woo-de-woo. And I was like, I feel like I got suckered into doing some shit that I don't even want to do. I don't even like. I don't even know how this shit gonna benefit me. Like, I'm starting to freak out because, like, this is the first time I've ever not been around my family. It's the first time I ever been in a situation where I don't have my mom, my brothers, my sisters, where I don't have nobody to call or nobody to, this is the first time. And that was one of them things to me, like, I don't know how I handled that, though. Like, how in my brain, I guess, I was so young, being that I was 19. It was just a rush of experiences and emotions and all types of stuff while I guess my brain is still kind of developing, because if I was older, I don't even know if I would even have the strength to just, I don't know, man, that's tough from what I experienced. But so boom, it's a lot going on back at home. I ended up leaving Tallahassee before I left for the military, for the Navy. Before I left for the Navy, I ended up leaving Tallahassee, coming back to Leesburg, back at home with my mom. I was, I'm still contemplating even just telling these people no. It's still a large kind of time frame between the time for me to leave and the time for me to leave out, but they still keep telling me that my brother has a chance. He just has to pass it. Boom, they're gonna rush him through MEPS. They gonna get him in. Boom, buddy situation. Boom. They're still telling me this. I get a phone call. Fast forward, we're now in August. I get a phone call saying, hey, you want to leave early? I said, yeah. Actually, I said, before I said yeah, I said, you know what, let me talk to my people first. All right, bet. Boom. Call my brothers. Boom, you think I should leave early? Yes. You think I should leave early? Yes. Boom, you think I should leave early? Yes. Boom, you think I should leave early? Yes. Boom, everybody. Yes. All right. Hit them back. Boom. Think, hey, I'm ready. Yes, I'll take the job. They said, well, it's going to be special warfare. I said, what is that? They say it's going to be air crew. You're going to have to learn like rescue swimming stuff and all that. You're going to be a 3rd class petty officer once you get past, the training and all that. Okay, you know what? If that means more money, I'm with it. Whatever. So now I ended up, instead of leaving that February, we ended up getting a date for November. Tells me, hey, I was like, man, I'm so scared now, like, so scared. So scared, like, and I'm gonna talk about this in a whole nother video too, of that first day's experience and like the actual experience I had of the military, like of that boot camp. Like I do plan on giving y'all that, but I do plan on giving y'all that. But it was like, for this, it was like I almost felt guilty leaving, like I was leaving my family and leaving an attachment that I've only known. I had friends growing up and people who I was close with, but for me, my family, that's all I ever had. Like, that's all I ever really cared about. And having that be kind of taken from me, I felt like, and once again, I don't think that the military was for me at that time. Well, this is how my mind was processing it. Like, this ain't even for me, this for my brother. Like, why would he even put me in this situation? And it turned out to be probably the best situation for me in my life. Not probably, it did. It turned out to be the greatest situation for me because it taught me structure, organization. It taught me principles, principles. It taught me so many different lessons being in the military. Man, seeing new people from being around people and understanding how so many different people think, and so many and just being able to adjust to any atmosphere and environment. Like, it was definitely a special experience. I'm so glad that I went through it, but at the time I was fucking pissed. I was pissed that my brother would put me in this. Like, bro, this ain't even for me. Man. But it ain't nothing that compared to that first day, though. I'm gonna say that for another video. Wow.